Collective Tap In. God is not playing about you. They have no idea who is fighting for you. And I need to bring this conversation down to a grounded level because it's really easy for this message to get lost in the realms, in the higher realms. I want to bring this conversation down because it's International Women's Day. Okay. And I believe that a lot of times when it comes to women, not I believe, it is, we are just completely overlooked for our beautiful, grounded, divine, feminine powers. Not only are we protecting that which is holy, but we are able to bring a level of healing that is unlike any other energy on the face of this planet. And for International Women's Day to recognize not just the suffrage of women, but how women have legitimately overcome so much suppression, it is necessary for us to bring ourselves back down and have this conversation about who's fighting for who here. Okay? Because yes, God is not playing about you. And they, whoever your opposition is, they have no idea who is fighting for you. Baby, you fighting for you. What? You are fighting for you. The Divine Feminine Collective is fighting for you. What do you mean? And I want to just pour into you and let you know just how magnificent you are as a woman. Like nobody can heal the way that you do. Nobody can speak the way that you do. Nobody can love the way that you do. No one can can problem solve the way that you do. Your superpowers as a divine feminine, as an earth angel, as a healer, as a lover, as a friend, as a mother, as a the one that has birthed the nations, birthed society. Like, are we sitting here thinking that, like, what? That God does not live through you? That God does not peek inside of you? Yes, God is not playing about you because he made you a divine feminine, and they have no idea who is fighting for you because you are fighting for you. The amount of women that came before you and the women that you will touch, that will lead the way after you, that is who's fighting for you. You are that girl. You are that woman. In this world makes it so, and I say this world, I'm talking about where we are existing, literally makes it so hard for women to just actually operate in their divine feminine that the fight has had to continue for centuries. And this world is waking up to the fact that the future is female, baby. The future is feminine. And hyper divine femininity is here to stay. Who's fighting for you? The women are. Yeah. Who's fighting for you? You are. I'm speaking to the women who had to be strong. I'm speaking to the women who had to heal. I'm speaking to the women who had to cry. I'm speaking to the women who had to look at the situation around them and make the best decision out of the hard decisions. I have to speak to the women who made $1 out of 15 cents. The reason why there are so many songs about women being divine feminine is because women are divine beings. What do you mean? What do you mean? Who's fighting for you? You. Who's showing up? You. You are. And I want to put the power back into your hands. Release all the trauma and guilt on the daily, every moment of your life. Let me put the power back into your hands, divine feminine. No, God does not play about you. And the reason why it is important to understand how powerful you are is because it gives self-responsibility. Yeah, it's spiritual self-leadership. It doesn't mean you are relinquishing any powers or relinquishing anything to anyone else. It means that you recognize what God has given you is meant to be used in this physical realm. When we say give it to God, it means that God will provide a way for us to make it make sense here on planet Earth. That means God will move mountains for you to be able to see just how beautiful and powerful and spiritual you are. God is not playing about you because you are the divine feminine. You're fighting for you. My mama, my grandmama, my great grandmother, my great great grandmother, who was born on a plantation, who was a heck of a crap talker, highly spiritual, baptized many on the plantation. She fought for me. They have no idea the divine feminine generational strength that is within you. The divine feminine has this beautiful understanding that what God has given them, they are able to multiply. It is abundant. Women are naturally abundant. They are naturally resourceful, naturally nestful. They want to provide a home, a safe space. Women do not go out there and waste. They want to be home with their candles, manifesting, chanting, singing, reading. Hi, baby. Hi, honey. You home? Let me make sure that this meal is cooked for you. Why? Not because women belong in the kitchen. No, because we understand the power of sustenance, of feeding, of nurturing, of loving. What do you mean? Oh, my goodness. It is so interesting how, and I'm gonna tell you right now because y'all might be watching, but there was absolutely somebody in the chat saying God said be fruitful. The Bible says say be fruitful and multiply. Nobody's talking about the Bible over here. So you in the wrong place anyway. I'm speaking to the divine feminine and how what they naturally do here without any instruction, what is coded in their divine feminine DNA, in their minds, in their hearts, is a natural path of healing. And there is always a conflict. There's always a problem with people that come in here. Hold on, let me block the fools. There are people that come into your world, not come into here because we could block them easily. Come into your world and try to silence who you naturally are as a woman. Thank you. I cannot allow that to happen. And I feel like this message needs to heal. Needs to heal a lot of your traumas. I want you to be more self-aware and resolved in understanding exactly who you are as a divine feminine. You ain't no punk. You know exactly what you're up against every day. You are up against a society who despises you, who wants to keep you weak, who wants you to silence yourself. The divine feminine voice is loud. It can be soft, but it's loud because it reverberates. The divine feminine can dress in heels and skirts and all that, but my gosh, are we not the most beautiful warriors? I am telling you, man. So you said this message is right on time. Happy International Women's Day. And I know how difficult it is to reclaim your voice as a woman. Because from birth, women are beat down. From birth, women are told that they have to be subservient, not just to men, but just to everything in the world. From birth, always on high alert because danger is lurking simply because the world wants us and sees us as weak. But these people have no idea how powerful your lineage is as a divine feminine. No idea. That's why they've always tried to squash it and keep it quiet. That's why it's always been a physical and verbal battle with people when it comes against the divine feminine. That's why they've always tried to keep it locked away. The divine feminine literally has birthed nations. Period. And you deserve to be honored for that. Whether you are being honored for healing generational traumas, for breaking those spells, I'm trying to tell you, woo-wee. Whether you are being honored because you're the first woman in your family to make it out of anywhere, to make it into anywhere, because you're breaking barriers and spaces. You're an inventor. Hey, I'm one of those. Patented. Because you're a speaker, because you create a safe space, you deserve to be honored. There is a reason why there's a space for women that speak about womb healing, SA healing, physical healing, mental healing, financial healing. It is because the repression of the woman has reverberated throughout generations. And I see something new in this age, in the age of awakening for the divine feminine. Ain't nobody sit down anymore. The voices are being heard. And anybody that has a problem with that needs to go home and shut the hell up. And you know what? Yes, and put in a box. And put in a box to where, oh, now you got to be thrown away at a certain age. If you don't look a certain way at a certain age, then you are no good to society. But at the same time, these are the same people who say, oh, this respect the elders, the grandmothers of the family, the great aunties of the family. These are the same people who will say, okay, being an elder is a blessing, but then will disrespect you for being in transition to becoming an elder. Make it make sense, society. Nobody on the face of the planet gonna look at me and say that my grandma was one of the greatest elders on the face of this planet who didn't contribute. Say what? Say huh? I feel like a lot of women right now I'm speaking to is in a transition from being ignored to being seen. I feel like the women I'm speaking to right now, whoo, my goodness, blessings. A lot of women I'm speaking to right now have been in hiding for so long, their voices are still like scratchy. They haven't exercised their voice yet. I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to the woman that has been hiding for a long time. And it's finally coming out of her shell. I don't care if you're 50, 60, 70 years old. Better now than never. I don't care if you're in your 40s. And you're just like, Cass, this 40-year-old spiritual awakening is something I've never experienced before. I know who I am. I am confident now. I'm more confident than I was yesterday, still on my journey, but I'm making it. To me, it is irrelevant how old you are or where you are in life. Are you stepping into your divine feminine energy and your powers? And are you happy? Are you happier? Yeah. Five of Swords. along with argument. So some of y'all are bucking back against a system or a person that has been trying to silence you. Woo! You said you are that woman. Welcome. I honor you. Thank you for speaking out. Thank you for your testimony. I feel like some of y'all right now are arguing with a system, fighting against a system, bucking against a system right now, whether it be your man, whether it be your daddy, your brother, your cousin, somebody at your job, whether it is the system itself, whether it's just an entire patriarchal idea that you have been beaten to believe. I feel like right now I'm speaking to a woman that is bucking back against the system. I love that. I love that. And you know what's crazy? You can know that you are fully in the right. Listen, you can know that you are fully in the right, but the mindset, the belief has been in you for so long that you can still feel an internal conflict. Ooh-wee. And that is a part of the awakening that many women like you fight with for decades. That is a part of the fight that many women like you go against or go with or struggle with. I'll say struggle for a long time, because now you're like, oh my gosh, is this really what I should be believing? Because for all my life, my mama and my daddy and my cousin said that life should be lived this way. Hold up. Who said that? I was about to cuss. Who the F said that? And why does that apply to you? As my girl just said, why are they trying to keep you in a box? Why are they trying to keep you small and quiet, divine feminine? Because they absolutely know, hi Kimmy, they absolutely know how powerful the divine feminine is. And to unleash that into creating a reality that is loving, healing, beautiful, supportive, abundant. That is like, whoa. You got to understand, some people never thought that would even be possible. They think they're protecting you from abundance. Not abundance. They think they believe that they are protecting you from using your spiritual gifts to bring in abundance. When I say God is not playing about you, it is because God has literally placed within you all that you need to create a world, a reality of peace and truth. It is the fact that you have to use your gifts to fight through and against what people in this world has placed on your shoulders that should have never been there in the first place. I know for a fact, statistically, not even fact, statistically, let me rephrase that. Statistically, 70% of the women that are watching me has been attacked in some sort of way as a child. As a child. That was placed on you by someone who was evil, who was sick, who was abhorrent, but also who was hidden, who went uncharged, who went without punishment, unpunished. What did that beat into? Statistically, 70%, 7 out of 10 women who are watching me right now, what did that instill in you? That anybody can do anything to you and get away with it. Kimmy, thank you so much. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's what it's saying. And many women I'm speaking to right now are fighting and using their voices and saying, I was done wrong. They're saying I was done wrong. And now what do I speak about it? But then guess what? Whew. You speak about it, and what ends up happening? Now you got people giving a counter narrative. Oh, that really didn't happen to you. You must have wanted it. What was you wearing that night? And it's just like that right there is what women from generations past has dealt with. And what I'm seeing in this awakening of women is no more. I'm going to speak out. I'm going to use my voice. And many times, the women that I speak to and I work with, they don't even speak out against their perpetrators. They speak out in the name of healing themselves and helping others heal. Because that's the true gift of a divine feminine, is to heal what seems impossible. You got to think, you made it to the next level. It is women who are stuck in a space of just a perpetual cycle of dysfunction because they don't know where to go with their pain. Ooh. God, I honor you. I honor you. I honor you. Because it ain't no rule book on how to get over your trauma like that. You got books. You got books that say, this is what you're going through. This might help. This is where this is. You got books, of course. But to work through that on a micro level is daunting. It is exhausting. It is scary because you operate in it for such a long time that sometimes you get used to that pain and you don't know what's after it. Thank you. And I wanted to put that out there because I definitely understand that that's not the only statistic that's out there, but it's the most common one that most women can relate to. And that level of hypervigilance, that level of pain, torment, misunderstanding, it shapes how you look at the world. And it is designed to make you forget, whoa, what I have in me provides the blueprint on how I can get out of a detrimental cycle. Ooh, Two of Pentacles. The choices. You know, when I went into the military and I was in basic training, I'm going to share a little story time with y'all. I was in the military, I went to basic training, and on Sundays, you could go like to church, right? In basic training. You could go to church on Sundays in basic training. The thing about the church and basic training at Lackley Air Force Base way back in the day, okay, is that everybody went into church to praise. I was trying to go into church to go to sleep. Girl, I was tired. Okay, I was so exhausted. Okay, everybody up there screaming, hooting, hollering. Okay. And I'm up here like, yo, I just want to go to sleep. So I used to go into the bathroom of the church and try to sleep. And I would just lean up on the stall. I tell you, when you in basic training in the military, you learn how to sleep anywhere. Girl, I was up on the stall like this trying to sleep, but they would have people come in and check the stalls to make sure you wasn't sleeping. I'm like, girl. But across the way was a place for those who were not of Christian, a Christian denomination, girl. Okay. So they had like a Buddhist, and there was like a place for the Muslims, and there was a few other like small types of religions and beliefs in there. So I said, well, let me walk in here and see what they doing. Okay. So I walked across, and there was, why y'all laughing at me, girl? Listen. So I walked across, and there was like this, it was a space for Buddhists. And I walked there, raised raised Baptist, okay, grandmama Baptist, great grandmama Baptist, great. There's a whole lineage of just church goers, right? So I'm like, what is it with these people? Y'all in here come and y'all got some incense go. What is this here? And the gentleman was like, hey, welcome. Are you interested in Buddhism? And I was like, do y'all sleep in here? Do y'all sleep? And he said, we do meditation and we do chanting and we do all these things. And I was like, that sounds real peaceful. I'm in. Now, I started out just thinking like I'm going to get some sleep, which I did. I'm sorry. That guy let me sleep the entire time. And I still, God bless that man. Okay. But I also learned some valuable principles that set the course for the rest of my life of how I heal, see conflict, and maneuver. Now, was I always perfect throughout the rest of my life? Absolutely not. But I understood, for the most part, how to handle certain situations when they came to be. And of course, that led me to figuring out that my gift was speaking love into women and supporting women and all of those things, right? But the one thing that I learned is that while I do believe in God, when the mind becomes clear, hostility loses grip. Yeah. So the more clear my mind got, the more I was able to handle hostile environments. Not that I needed to or wanted to, but I knew how to. And a lot of times the hostile environment was within because of what my surroundings and the world was telling me I needed to be, instead of me focusing on what I was and how I could improve on my gifts. It's one of the greatest gifts that Buddhism has ever given me when I was studying it for 8 years. 8 years. And I still carry that with me today. And I want to let you know that yes, God is real. I believe in God. And I believe that the Holy Spirit exists in all of us if we allow it to. But also we get to take control of our lives. We get to enact spiritual legislation. We get to put in our protective merit and show compassion and karmic guardianship. Woo. The language is much calmer because there's a necessity for biblical language, especially with spiritual warfare. However, in order to bring it from the ethereal into reality, I absolutely appreciate the Buddhist concept. And that's what this conversation is about. Not about Buddhism, not about Christianity, but about source and how source manifests through you. We all have a story to tell. We all out here fighting. We all out here cut, scarred. Every last one of us. And we're all finding this path to heal, to being healed. We're all finding this path, or we've located the path and walking the path or completing the path of saying, I've done some strong, deep internal work. And now I am showing up as a version of me. Thank you. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you for the flower. I am finding a life within the zone of healed that I am in. Am I completely healed? Absolutely not. But am I a better person than I was 60 seconds ago? Yes, I am. Those are the women I'm speaking to. Those are the women I rock with hard. Those are the women that I'm pouring into. The fact that you recognize that you can get out of a loop of destruction and that your path to healing is one that is both within and external. But you know that the strength within you is powerful. Can't nobody touch it. It is a truth that lives within the divine feminine. God does not play about you. They have no idea who's fighting for you. You are fighting for you. My God. That is absolutely who put the power back into your hands. Put the power back into your portals. So now we have a consistent conversation between who you are here and who you are speaking to in the Holy Spirit, in the Most High realm. We are having a human experience. And I think that it could be a quite beautiful one. We just have to understand the players that we are against, because looking at what's happening in the world right now, we know we're not dealing with humans. But you and I are here with each other. I know a divine feminine when they are walking down the street. I speak, hey, divine feminine, I see you. Easy breezy. It comes as easy as saying hello. Hi. Hey, Travis. Thank you for making it. And so as I'm staring dead at this Two of Pentacles, there is a duality that exists that I believe the divine feminine has a unique tuning point. It's a tuning fork that the divine feminine has. Oh, wait. Listen. Can y'all type of one in the chat if you feel what I'm saying? It is a duality. It is a tuning fork that the crowned divine feminine has. It is so unique and precious that you have entities masquerading as humans, suppressing it, telling you to STFU. And this awakening, girl, this awakening is just like, the more I see the women waking up and saying, I am woman, hear me roar, the more I'm just like, yes, baby, yes, 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 yes. If you are rooted in pure spirituality, no matter what label you put on it, I love that for you. I love that for you. There is not one religious label that can claim prayer, that can claim meditation, that can claim the Holy Spirit. I said it. There is not one religious label that can claim that. The divine feminine is claiming that which is divine because it lives through the woman, the womb, the portal, the ultimate portal. And if we are able to birth through a portal, why would we not be able to birth the world through the ultimate portal? Girl, what? I bless you. I will pray for you. I'm so sorry to hear that. And that's not an easy system to fight. I am a hospice social worker, so I'm on the other end of children, but I do know that that system right there is something wicked. So I will pray for you. You can be a male. You can be a male and appreciate the divine feminine. Like, duh. Divine masculine is on my board. Of course. Of course. It is a union. It's a union. It's two, divine feminine, divine masculine. Duh, like you could be here. You're supposed to feel it. Because this is what you want for your wife. This is what you want for your mothers, for your sisters, for your women friends. You want them to feel safe and protected to be able to birth the healing world. Of course, you're welcome here. It literally says sacred, powerful, holy, blessed, consecrated, sanctified, and anointed. The way that you present those things, the way that you manifest those qualities is different from a woman. That's what I'm saying. Ooh-wee. I will pray for you, ma'am. Oh my goodness. You are welcome here. No one will ever deny divine masculine. Shoot, we love divine masculines over here. Shoot. Y'all already know when my divine masculine call me, I'll be like, hey. Yeah, all that. Woo-wee, I tell you. Judgment and the hangman. Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you right now, collective, divine feminine collective, divine masculine collective. Yes, divine masculine, please come through. Come all the way through. Okay? Bring your powerful spiritual muscle. All the muscles. Wink, wink, all the muscles. Wink, wink. Bring them powerful spiritual wallets. Yeah, bring them powerful spiritual protection mechanisms. We want all of it. All of it. No judgment here, but we know exactly what we want and what we need. And I love this. And you know what else? I'm going to say this. And I don't want y'all to get mad at me for saying this, but I'm going to say it. The fact that there is a certain sector of male commentary that's ending up in the garbage, it moves me. It moves me. For a long time, there was a centralized conversation of people with penises. Okay, I can't even call them men. That was just downgrade. I mean, just dogging women out. Girl, the way that the divine masculine has showed up and showing out against these dudes is just, I'm just like, whoa. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. And the divine masculine is loud. And that is the protection we're talking about. Okay. Whew. Now back to this judgment, because I'm not going, because I could go for a long time with that. But this hangman and judgment, I feel like a lot of y'all have been sitting in your own detrimental healing cycle, and something about this word, you was thinking it, but you didn't say it. Okay, can we please go to my movie with the Wayans brothers? Oh my God, Brittany, you were thinking it, yeah, but you said it. Like we're talking about it here. Something about this message shifted your mind from, okay, I got to stop putting everything out there in a realm that I can't physically touch, and I got to start bringing it back to me. I'm responsible for me. Because when your mind becomes clear, hostility loses its grip. And that is what we require. We want the de-escalation of inner conflict. Let me say that again. Divine feminine wants the de-escalation of inner conflict. I was watching Creed, okay? Creed with Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson, I think her name is. And they had gotten to an argument, right? I think this was Creed 3. They got into an argument and something traumatic had happened to him, and Tessa was pushing the issue, right? And he was like, I don't want to talk about it. She was like, why you don't want to talk about it? And he was like, hey, it's dead, it's lie, it's gone, it's lie, let it lie down. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. And then when they panned over, it was the daughter, the young daughter that was standing there. And Tessa, understanding this role because she a divine feminine woman, understanding exactly what this role was, she said, whatever you dealing with, you deal with it, right? But she, talking about the daughter, cannot see you like this. That was a perfect example of divine feminine de-escalating the moment an inner conflict arose or came up. I don't know which one I should, in a divine masculine. Baby, the power is real. And y'all can say, "Oh, Cass, that was just a movie." No, I don't believe that moment right there was just a movie. I actually think that they should get married, but that's just my, personal opinion of real life. Hi. The de-escalation of inner conflict means that you have to train your mind to stop reacting to fear and anger and attachment in a way that is detrimental to you. Ooh. I said you have to train your mind. And I'm not saying this is going to be easy. I'm not saying you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, woo, I'm free. Because, girl, just that statement alone sends you on a journey of, girl, how do I do that? And this can last years, baby. So what? You got years. So what? Tap in. It lasts years. So what? As opposed to what? You spending the next decade, 2 decades of your life in a piss poor mindset. And then now you reacting all crazy and you out here combative with the world when it don't even have to be that way. So when I say, like, okay, fear, tackle that. Anger, tackle that. Anger is always a secondary emotion anyway. So we can talk about that later. And then attachment, which shows up in so many different ways. That right there is a journey that you can start today. And many of you have. And a divine feminine understands how imperative it is to pinpoint that. And again, that fine-tuned fork that we have that's able to expose that in others, we need to expose in ourselves as well. What I've learned in Buddhism is spiritual self-leadership is necessary in spiritual warfare. And no, you don't always make the right decisions when you are in spiritual self-leadership and engaging in spiritual warfare. You don't always make the right decisions because the information that you have in that moment is not always robust. But I tell you one thing, when I've made the improper calculation, based off the information that I had while engaging in spiritual warfare, the consequences I've never mind paying. And the consequences are never as harsh as I've made up in my mind because I know I acted on the truth that I had at that moment. And divine feminine, you don't give yourself enough credit for that. You don't give yourself enough credit for that. All you harp on divine feminine is, I made the wrong decision, I messed up. Yeah, okay. But let's look at the context and the circumstances. Let's look at what you were truly up against in that moment. Let's look at how you were fighting for your spiritual life, fighting for your soul, fighting to be understood, feeling like the world was against you. And heck, the world might have been against you. You fighting with family, friends, people in your house. Your house is not a home. Let's look at everything that you were going into this battle with, and you made a decision. And it didn't pan out the way that you wanted to. That's okay. That's okay. You gotta forgive. I don't even know if forgiveness is really the right word here. I want you to recognize that you made the decision with what you had in that moment. It didn't work out the way it needed to. And you should not hold yourself to that standard because it's keeping you stagnant. Whew. I don't even know who needed to hear that. 7 of Swords with the 8 of Swords. Whoo, I don't know who needed to hear that to break free. I don't even know who needed to hear that to break free, but my God, I'm glad you heard it. Some of y'all up here fighting yourselves for a decision that you made 15, 20 years ago. Some of y'all out here fighting other people for the decisions that they made towards you 15, 20 years ago, and they battle with their demons were much deeper than what you could have ever imagined. That 8 of Swords with that 7 of Swords coming out, man. No, thank you. And you're welcome. My goodness. Yeah. Look, lovers. Lovers came out, was at the bottom. King of Cups. Woo, that was some emotional healing, wasn't it? When I get that feeling, we need emotional healing. Emotional. Woo, that King of Cups with that lovers. Yeah. Yeah. Connect with your higher self on that. Connect with your higher self on that. And you know, even saying like connect with your higher self, I'm somebody who I'm not really a big fan of like vague terms, you know, and I feel like higher self has been absolutely beaten down in the spiritual and healing community. Like, oh, it's your higher self, man. I recognize with the divine feminine that we have to understand as a collective that some women have been disconnected with from their higher selves for so long that the concept of their higher selves doesn't even make sense to them. Please double tap this live stream if you've been in here. Please make sure you like this live stream, y'all. Because although you can't see the likes, I can. And the reason why I hide my likes a lot of times is because trolls get to manipulate them. So, but make sure you hide those likes, please. Thank you. It's a back end thing, so I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Look at the 6 of Swords. This 6 of Swords in reverse. Somebody needs to sit with this. Akasha, thank you so much. Thank you. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you to everyone who supports my growing channel and these messages that come to you that just, you know, flow through me with this 6 of Swords in reverse. You need to sit with this. And many of you have been sitting with this. I actually feel like a lot of you, now I'm kind of channeling this message a little bit more. I feel like, oh, I'm somatically moving, y'all. I just feel the need to move. So please, this is when I pray, I move somatically like this. So let it flow. Thank you. So I ain't no weirdo. This is just a part of my channeling, apparently. I feel like a lot of y'all visualize yourselves in a happy place and you don't know how to get there. I feel like a lot of you visualize yourself at the what you consider your end space, like your end goal, this end spot. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, that's Sarah. Oh, that's Sarah. I love that. Like you guys can, like you ladies can visualize your in space, but you don't know how to get there. And if that is you, I'm asking you to reverse engineer that. Okay. Or if you don't want to reverse engineer and start up there and come back, just ask yourself what your first step is. What is the first step to my next level? Is it saying, I am here? Boom. So let me tell y'all something. Y'all know I love connecting like information to like movies and TV shows and stuff. I was watching this movie last night. I think it was on, I don't know, Tubi. I don't know. It had Tyrese, the singer, in it. And you know it's hard out here for a pen. What's his name, y'all? Terrence Howard. And Tyrese was undercover in prison for committing a crime. But the state attorney was like, hey, if you go into this prison and break down this ring that's going on, then I will commute your sentence. So it was a whole fight ring within like this movie, right? And Terrence Howard was training Tyrese to be a fighter. And Tyrese had like this real hard like exterior about him, but he did it all for his baby girl who was sick in the hospital, right? So he had a backstory. Anyway, Tyrese was like hard, and he like, man, I know how to fight and all this stuff. And Terrence was like, listen, bro, the first thing I need you to do, is hold your hands up like this. So Tyrese hold his hands up like this. Okay. We're not starting that conversation, okay? Focus, the mind feminine, the focus, girl. And so Tyrese held his hands up like this. And Terrence said, I need you to accept that this is your reality. I need you to accept that you are right here, right now, in this reality. And Tyrese was like, this is my reality. And then boom, the training happened. And I felt like that is such a powerful moment that I believe a lot of divine feminines know, but they don't say out loud. The reality I'm in right now is that I'm at a crossroads of who I used to be in the most traumatic, dramatic moments of my life, and getting to the next level where the vision in my mind of me being the happiest I will ever be, what that looks like for me in this moment is over there. I'm at this crossroads. That is my reality. So how do I shift from being someone who is reactive to everything traumatic to someone who can take control of her life and make decisions that will lead me to the place I want to be? That's the reality, right? And if you've ever faced that reality, I want you to put a 1 in the chat. Hey, I can put a 1 in the chat. Shoot, I ain't even scared. I faced that reality. If you've ever faced that reality, put a 1 in the chat. All right, I'm at the crossroads moment. And my God, there will be so many crossroads in your life. Even when you get to an emotionally stabilized, spiritually healed place, you're still going to face crossroads. I don't want you to think, because I work with emotionally intelligent, spiritually gifted, high achieving women. That's who I work with. And you will not believe the imposter syndrome that rains down on them with hella degrees, Thank you. Oh my God, I received that. I received that. Thank you. Thank you, Akasha Relics. Thank you. You would not believe that the women, hella degrees, big bank rolls. I'm talking about houses that cost more than what I spent in my whole life. And these women are walking around at crossroads where the support, a strong support is necessary. By the way, if you're interested with working with me one-on-one, email me at CassieOnCrown.com. Okay. And they need someone there that can hold that energy. And they need someone there who is straight up and down, not trying to fix them. They know what they need to do. It ain't about fixing. It's about whether or not the course correction needs support, because the limiting belief still that was embedded with them as a child still creeps up, even in their most successful parts of life. Baby, that's big. That's a big deal. And I see it at every level. And I want you to sit with that, knowing that it don't matter. It don't matter how far you get. You will always be at a crossroads. You will always be in a reality that you want to shift. And the behavior and the mindset requires support in that shift. Not that you can't do it, but you're just like, girl, I know I need someone. I need someone. Just somebody I just need someone who can just sit with a sister, who can see me for me, who can listen to my story, not harp on the negative, but just be there for me when I shift. And what I say, y'all, when I move, you move, just like that. Who can understand that your belief in God is a necessary component to your healing, but so is the work that you do on yourself while living your life. Yeah, all those things coincide with one another. Whew, my goodness. That's right. I loved, I think it was a Akashic that put that. I think it was, yeah, Akashic. Travis, if you have the ability, may you please screenshot Akasha's comment where she says, I love your channel. May you please screenshot? I want to put that in my personal folder. Like, you guys, when you guys give me positive messages like that, I look at that. It keeps me going. It keeps me going. So I truly appreciate all of the testimonies that you share with me. Thank God for new seasons. I love that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And I love a new season. And people don't listen. Can we talk about it for a second? A new season is so dope. I love a new season because a new season could be a week. Girl, I will go through a season in a week. Like, okay, thank you. That's exactly what I needed. And a whole other season can be a year or 2, 3 years if I wanted to. Go through multiple seasons. Come back to the previous season just to re-season the season. Okay, new season 2.0. They're like, wait a minute, didn't you just? It don't matter. It's not your journey. And you know what else, y'all? This. Let me tap in real quick before I get up out of here. Actually, I have a little bit of time. My husband's getting a haircut, y'all. Hold on, let me check. Hold on, y'all. Yep, I got a little bit of time. Some of y'all been holding your tongues. Some of y'all have been holding back saying what you need to say to somebody because you've been confused, or maybe not confused, but you have been conditioned to believe that healing or being healed means not checking somebody. Big emperor energy. Now, it's time to check. Because see, the enemy likes to creep in a way that is like unsuspecting. And the enemy will creep in you by way of somebody else's passive aggressiveness. I don't know who needs to hear this, but check that hoe. Yeah. Hi. I don't know who needs to hear this, but Susan is trying you. And I'm not saying that you have to be mean. No, you worked so hard on yourself. But what you won't be is somebody else's emotional punching bag. That's what you won't be. You've done too much work on yourself to allow somebody to blatantly disrespect you and themselves by spiritually bypassing the work they have to do by punching down on you or punching up on you. No. So I don't know who needs to hear that. But check that out. And there are beautiful channels out there, especially with the corporate girlies and the corporate guys who are teaching you the language on how to course correct someone who thinks they're going to be a crash out on you. I love those channels. They're amazing. Check them out. Seek them out. Because one thing I know about the divine feminine and coming into your power and owning your power is one thing to come into your power, it's another to own your power. But what I know for a fact is that sometimes you don't have the language for the point you want to get across. Get with the girlies that do have the language. Get with the guys that do have the language. Reroute your algorithm. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I've seen the best channels on Instagram and on TikTok. That's where I've seen the best channels. But if you're a YouTube person, hey, do what you gotta do. But just to close this loop, check that out. Big emperor energy. Okay. Nobody has dominion over you. No. Nobody has dominion over you. Okay? All right. Whew. I just felt, wow. This is my reality. Because I don't even know who needed to hear. Now, Travis, you know when I say something like that, there is a hating hoe in the midst of this conversation, and we're gonna sniff her out. Is that okay, y'all? Is that okay? Because what would the divine feminine be without a hating hoe in the midst? Okay. Because why else would that even come up? Like what in the world? My God, the Holy Spirit was just like, girl, what is this? Yeah, somebody coming up. Ooh, wait, y'all saw how that car just spun around? Yeah, somebody. Y'all. Okay. I say this all the time, and I have to reiterate it. Okay, I have to reiterate it. You owning your divine feminine energy at the frequency that you have, it inspires and it repels. I actually have, and let me know if you want this, I want you to type it in the chat. I have a list of the 7 ways to know you are in a genuine sisterhood. Okay. I love it's such a good, I've never released it before. That's a lie. I released it one time on video and then I've never released it again. If that is something you're interested in, let me know and I'll put it out there. Nevertheless, one of the ways that you can tell that you are in a genuine sisterhood is the fact that you and your friend, or even you and your relationship with yourself, damn, you be in a genuine sisterhood with yourself. Okay, y'all said too. Is that y'all repel hating hoes together. Listen to me. Okay, I got you. I'll work on it this week. That is a promise. Okay, that is a promise. How to know that you are in a genuine sisterhood with yourself or with somebody else is that y'all repel hating hoes together. That means that the hating people cannot help but to make themselves known. They can't help it. It's almost like they gotta like vie for your attention to be recognized that they are in fact hating. Mm-hmm. So you and I see this hate. We see together. We see, okay, what Cardi do this, right? We see this happening. And the hating hoes get happy that we see them hating. Because it is your attention to them. It is actually a form of distraction. So let me tell you this right now. The chariot came up, as I said, let me go into this hate. It's because the direction that you have requires a distraction so that you're not on the right track. Yeah. And the way this card spun around, when it came at me, it did one of those moves right there lets me know that you being on the right track and being mindful shows that you are a hostile territory for the enemy. It shows that you are a hostile territory for the enemy. And that might be a new frame in the way that you approach this world. You want to be so in charge of how you react to this world and this life and what you do and just being authentically you. You want to be so 10 toes down on that any enemy that fast tracks its way into your world seems directionless. They don't know what to do. They spin around in circles. It's because you made your presence hostile to the enemy that wants to absolutely distract you from you going on your right path. So all this spinning around that they're doing, you and I see the hate, huh? We see them spinning. And they're like, oh my God, you saw me spinning. Yes, hi, how are you? My name is Kate Howell, and I just want to let you know that the track that you're on is so awesome. And I want to distract you from it. This ties me right back to what I just said, y'all. Check that, huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's who that is. Look, the magician, the chariot and the magician. And what games are they playing behind our backs? 8 of Wands. A whole bunch of distraction of nothingness. Whole bunch of card tricks. ribbons coming out of their hair, turning ribbons into bunny rabbits and all that. Girl, terrible. The magic tricks they play on themselves to believe that all the work that you have done would lead you on such a detrimental path of destruction. Wrong one. No. So we just going to leave y'all over here to your own devices. Actually, just get all the way up out of our faces. You stay over there on the ledge because you're about to jump off anyway because of much attention that you want. And let's get back to the final word of the Crown Collective. Okay. Pickles. Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing about not being distracted. Glitter will cause you to turn. Bright, shiny objects are meant to cause you to take a look. But if your goal is not a bright, shiny object, if your goal is the King of Cups and the Lovers, and it's a place that you want to sit in for quite some time, you want to stake your claim in that. You're not, a bright, shiny object ain't going to do it for you. That's a trick of the enemy. They ain't going to do it for you. You don't even care about that. It's not your world. It's not the reality. It's not your reality, right? It's theirs. And it's their perception of you. And to believing that this is how easy it is to get you. Could be a landmine. Love that. That's how easy they think you are. Lies and deceits. Lies and deceits. Two of Cups, what I say. What's attracting you? What's distracting you? Ooh-wee. Let me just say this before I get about here. Let's breathe together real quick. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Y'all, I came into this message knowing that I wanted to speak to the divine feminine because it's International Women's Day, but also the heaviness of what that means should absolutely be taken into spiritual consideration. There are women who did not make it because they believe that the end goal for women to step into their rightful energetic space and take up space was for the betterment of this planet, of this world, the world, Craig, the world. I believe that as well. And I believe that women hold grief different. We hold emotions different. We hold what happens different. It's not good or bad. It's just different. And that fine-tuned mind and ear and heart, that is one of the most sacred secrets that we hold as a collective. It is what this world has fought so hard to silence. Whether it is your personal journey or one that we see when we zoom out and look at the macro of the world. One thing we know for sure is that the future is divine feminine. That is why you are needed now more than ever. And the voices of my grandmother and my great grandmother and great great grandmother and all the women that fought for me to be here to speak to you right now will always be honored and respected and trusted. You are women of high appointments and spiritual anointings. You're emotionally intelligent, spiritually gifted, loved, and supported. And whether you are right here, right now, saying, "This is my reality," and you're making a decision to become better, or whether you say, "Cass, I am healed, point blank, period. And now I want to lead and love from a space of empowerment and teach others," this message is for you. This channel is for you. This space is for you. God is not playing about you. And they, the enemy, both foreign and domestic, both foreign and domestic, the enemy will be eradicated. And they have no idea who's fighting for you. This is not something that's happening out in the ethereal. This is something that's happening right here in front of our faces in our everyday worlds. And I'm going to say it with my whole chesticle. They cannot fuck with you. I love you so much. I will see you on the next live stream. Later, babies.